after.
Oh, good.
So anytime you open the app, whether it's on your phone or what'd you say? I'm sorry. Okay, I think I heard background noise, so I'm just gonna mute you guys. If you want to ask a question, just unmute yourselves, no problem. I think try to unmute yourselves right now. Are you able to or no? Because I did it. You can't. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna do that. So I'll just turn it down a little bit. No worries. All right. So anytime it opens to the buyer tab. Just keep that in mind. So we're gonna just work top to bottom. I'm gonna add an address. Do you guys have an address you want me to run with? Or I usually just use me and Tracy's addresses as examples because I know all the stuff. Is that cool? All right, cool. So I'm gonna go with that. 103 Atlantic. You can see everything's powered by Google. And I know both of you have kind of dabbled a little bit, or I know Trenton has, but maybe not. Stephanie has dabbled on this app a bit. And I'm sure you have a little familiarity with the quoting side of things, but there are a lot of like nitty gritty little details that I want to show you. So the first thing that happens, it'll pop up the home link, which is basically pulling from the property appraiser's website with the most recent tax bill. So this is what it's saying is the property tax. Now, you would have the knowledge of your client that I have about Tracy, that she's been in the house for 18 years. She's grandfathered into these taxes. Like, you're not going to see India Atlantic taxes for a new buyer being anything below $3,000, right? So just keep that in mind. And later, when we go to the end of the quote, it'll kind of give us a suggestion for a different number for the taxes, something much higher. So the loan type, here, I'm going to ask to unmute you guys because I want you to interact with me. So loan type, conventional. Home price, I'm gonna just put 500,000, like just to have a nice round number. Okay, down payment, it has 10%. I'm gonna put 20%, but I just want to show you one thing. Anytime you go over 100, so I'll just put like 200, it'll immediately switch it over to dollars. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna go back to 20 and I'll switch it back to 20%. That interest rate is the national average right now. It will update all the time. Like, make sure on your phone you have your automatic updates turned on for your apps so that it does continuously update. I mean, this will be different in 2 weeks. It'll be different 2 weeks after that. It's very, very responsive to what's going on in the market overall, not just in the interest rate. So 30-year term, I'll keep that. Miscellaneous, so anywhere you see these little gears is something that you can click into for more detail. So the miscellaneous, you can add to the buyer closing costs or subtract from the buyer closing costs. We have some common items on this side, common items on this side, but you can always type in your amount. You can add as many fields as you need to, and bada boom, you got it. All your concessions and things. Insurance, there's our average. Taxes, they're what we had before from the tax bill, and then it's going to give us something when we press compute. HOA, you can do annual, monthly, quarterly. I know, like, I just like to mention Vieira Suntree because it tends to have so many HOAs. So I've talked to them. This company's based in Texas, and Florida is really the only state that has those multiple HOAs. So they're like, we can't just add a feature for just Florida. Sorry. So they're like, just take all the HOAs, add them together, kind of average them out. And then you can either do that by annual or monthly. But I know Tracy has a $225 a month HOA. Closing date, it is kind of important to push that out like accurately, at least by the month, just so for the prorations on the taxes and the HOA and everything. So here it is. This is what we're talking about with the suggested taxes. So now it's giving me a suggestion of like the tippy top number that it could possibly ever be. And that's without any exemptions. Yeah, so it's a lot. But take note here, this is saying Cape Canaveral. I want to hit this little arrow so that I can select India Atlantic, which is actually a higher millage rate. So that'll be fun. Done. And now that is what they're suggesting for the taxes. When you provide these to your clients, you know, you always want to make sure you say anyway that it is a preliminary estimate, and you can tell them like your taxes are not going to be this much, but it's better This is what Tracy always says. It's better to be a hero, not a zero. Like you'd rather save your clients money in the long run rather than quote them too low and then they have to pay more. You know the deal. You're both experienced. What's up, Stephanie? Talk to me.
So why did that show up Cape Canaveral? Just because when you put in the address, you didn't follow all the way to the
No,
end?
if it followed, it's just like they have all the millage rates for every city in the county, and that just happens to be the top one. So it
Okay.
just goes with the
Okay.
top one, and then
So when you
it'll
get to
you can
that
and it has
screen,
all
you
of them
just,
on there.
okay.
So I'll press done. And if you go to that gear next to the taxes, that shows you all the millage rates first.
Okay.
All right, so now it computed this buyer estimate. We got two sides of it. We got our monthly payment. We got to bring to, our closing costs. So let's say you're in the appointment, Trenton, and you're like, your clients are saying to you, well, Trenton, I told you I can't afford anything more than $4,200 a month. That is my cap for my monthly payment. So you can press that edit button right here, make that 4,200, and then the whole rest of the quote recalculates around that, which
Oh,
is
wow.
awesome. So you get to, say, hey, clients, we can get you this $4,200 monthly payment, but you're looking at putting down more like 25%. Is that something that's possible? Oh, no, I don't have that kind of money. Okay, well, then maybe we need to realign our expectations about the home price that you're looking at. Look at that power. That's some power right there. Because it's not just you being the bad guy giving them terrible news. You are now showing them like, hey, this is realistically like I'm not just making this up. I'm not just spewing. This is really the numbers you can see right here in front of you. So you can do it on the other side too. Let's say they have a little more flexibility with their monthly payment, but they don't have too much to bring to the closing table. You can do it over here. Detailed closing costs. You can click into here and just kind of customize these closing costs. You press edit. You can change the prepaids. If you know that your clients don't need a survey, you could take that off. If we've negotiated the closing fee with you to save the deal, then you can put that here. And all the prorations are there at the bottom. So it's done. I'm not going to,
A monthly payment. That's cool.
right? Isn't it? There's so many cool features on here. I can't wait for you to see. You're going to be like, what? Both of you are going to kick yourself for not being on here sooner, I swear, because everyone else does. All right. So this button right here, it looks like a phone with some arrows, and that is exactly what it is. So when you're on your phone, all you would do to get here is turn your phone to the side. You have to have that portrait orientation lock off, but when you do, it just turn to the side.
Where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
saw
that
the
little
little
button right there.
stationary arrow up at home price. Okay, now I see you moving.
Yes. So
Okay.
just this little phone with the arrows, you're just going to turn it to the side. But on here, this one's really powerful. So this is showing how offer price can affect the payment. Hey, client, let's offer $10,000 more on this. I think that would get your offer accepted. Oh, but that's going to raise my monthly payment too much. I can't do it. I can't do it. Actually, if you see here, it's only going to raise your monthly payment by about $80. That's one meal out without drinking these days. Can you sacrifice one meal per month to be able to afford your dream home? I think most people would say yes. And you can adjust this. So right now it's at $10,000 increments. If you hit the gear, you can do different monetary increments, and you can also do it by showing the monthly payment difference. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like. It's showing the total and the difference there. So you can see it's still showing an $80 increase, but it's just showing it this way. All right. So, and then that's that universal share button. So anywhere you see that share button, you can always just send that directly to your clients. So that one's a really powerful tool on the buyer side for sure. Up here, we have a couple of tabs on either side of the estimate. So on your phone, you would just swipe to the left or swipe to the right. So if we swipe to the left, we have a smart compare tool. I was mentioning to both of you that if you want to like get your lender on here, you're more than welcome to. There's a lot of lender tools that are very, very useful. So I don't know why that's saying so much down, but that's pretty awesome. Why is it saying that? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh, we put it as a percentage, even though it's all right. That's interesting. I'm just gonna redo that. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Now back to the smart compare where it looks normal now. Yes. All right. So now it's giving us like different loan comparisons. This is our loan that we ran over here. This one's more like an FHA. This one's kind of like has a buy down rate, has a 15-year term, but you can always just edit that and put more specific different loan options on there. On the other side of the estimate, you have loan details. So those are going into the real details of the loan that we ran over here, excuse me, including a full amortization schedule, which we know investors, lawyers, engineers, doctors, they all love to look at the full amortization schedule. So you have that here, which is nice. I know both of you do some work with investors. So back to our estimate. I'm ready to send it out. This is exactly what my clients are looking for, and I really want to give it to them to just have to hold on to. So I'm going to share or print the PDF. And now when you come here, this is where you have like a ton of templates, okay? Especially like I encourage both of you wholeheartedly to sign up for the premium version of the app because it is only $10 for the whole year, like we were talking about. And you get so many features with the premium that you don't get without it. So one of the features you get is a large amount of templates on here and you get your personal branding. So you get your photo on here, you get your, contact information. Our logo will always be right here. Your logo will be right here. And then you have like a summary of the numbers and they look really, really nice. So with the different templates, like I can just come down over here. Like I actually really love, where is it? I like this one a lot because it kind of has like a little bit more flair in my opinion, and it's a little more customizable. So you can see here, like this is red, like Supreme Title. If I press customize, I could change this to de novo blue, or I could change it to EXP blue. You know what I mean? So I can also, besides colors, because colors are whatever, what about languages? You can translate this into 14 different languages, which is so powerful. There's so many foreign buyers that are coming here at this point. I mean, we have a huge influx of Vietnamese people, huge influx of Russians, actually, believe it or not. We have a huge influx of Portuguese, and we have Hindi and Punjabi. We know we have a huge Indian population. So you have a lot of power here to be able to provide people quotes in the language that is their first language. And then that makes them a lot more comfortable. So right here, over on this side, this is kind of how you can share it. Like when you're ready to share it, you can just email it directly through the app. So you press email, you put your client's emails right here. Your email is automatically on the CC line. You have a nice subject line, and then there is a little summary of I don't know why it like doesn't open the message for me, but there's a little summary of the numbers on there, and then the full attachment. And you just press send, and boom, it's done. So direct and so awesome. You can download it to then email it separately or later. You can print it, social share. You can just, and you would wonder like, why would you want a specific buyer quote on your social? But I'll show you in a second. Or you can save the estimate for later.
I have a question, Rose.
Yes, what's up?
If you email directly from the system, does this company use your buyer's email address and sell it?
No. No,
Okay.
they do not. We would never sign on with a company that would like do some shady stuff like that. No.
Well, I mean, I
get it. Business
and I'm
is
not
business,
even
but
calling it shady. I just know that's, it's just how business, the business cycle works. So
totally. And you're right. Business is business, but like to us, we don't want
Okay.
anything like that to happen. And we know you
Okay.
wouldn't
Well,
want
I
that
mean,
to
me
happen
too,
either.
and that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. That's a good question though. No one's ever asked that before. So coming back over here, like you have different templates that are not just estimates. So let's look at these home reports. I was telling Stephanie about these yesterday because to me, these are one of the most valuable things on the app. You have these home reports that I mean, I just clicked it for a second and it just gave me all of this information, all the convenience, nearby schools with the ratings, nearby restaurants, comparing internet speeds, how easy is it to walk in the neighborhood, what's the sound score, and all of your liability is gone. So there's like disclaimers at the bottom, and every category has provided by. So not only are you providing your clients convenience, now your liability is out the window too, which is awesome. you know, I do these trainings a lot and I get some really great ideas of what to use these for. I mean, the obvious one is sending them to out of town buyers, right? But what about printing them out and making them a part of your listing presentation? What about printing them out for open houses? What about, you know, making it, using this social share button, making these for one of your listings and putting that on social media, like, hey, in case you didn't know any information about the neighborhood, here you go. There's a lot of power in this PDF, I think. So that is what I have for the buyer side. Do you have any questions before I move to the seller side?
Nope.
Nope. All right, cool. I'm pretty thorough, I know.
You're good, girl. You're a good salesperson too.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I can only sell what I believe in.
That's it. That's why I love that we're in this county. If I was like in middle of nowhere, Kansas, it would be like, why are you moving here?
Exactly.
Get out, don't buy, rent and leave.
Save yourself.
I know. I believe in the barrier island. That's why I'm out here.
That's funny. So I'm just going to use her address again, just because it pulls up exactly the perfect example I want to give you. All right.
We know where to find Tracy.
I know. And that's usually where I am every day. I'm actually at my house for the first time in a long time working here. I hope both of you are going to come to the Brokers Open that we have today in Merritt Island. It's a
I
beautiful
would. I
event.
looked it up. It's like a 40-minute drive almost. And because I'm gearing up for that training that I was telling you about yesterday,
Yep.
I'm trying to get everything square so I can dig into that, because once we start that, it's going to have a lot of hands-on things to do. So
I
I'm trying
totally
to
get
get,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to get all your ducks in a row
But it
first.
does look like a great property.
Oh, I'm so excited to
You
see it.
get good broker opens.
Yes, thank you. So here's that taxes again that we have from the property appraiser site, but now it's asking me for an interest rate. So it's pulling a loan that was recorded in 2021 for this amount. If Tracy were here, I'd be like, hey, Tracy, did you refinance in October of 2021? And she would say yes. And I would say, well, 2 weeks later, in the first week of November, I saw this loan that was recorded on this app. So it was like very immediate. As soon as it was recorded in the clerk of courts, it was on here. So I know that her interest rate was, oh my God, 2.5. So I know that, you know, a lot of sellers don't know their interest rate. They forgot, whatever. So it does give you what the average was for that month in that year. So you can always just go off of this. And my suggestion would be to round up, you know, just to do like that 3% just to be safe. And it'll get you close enough. You know what I mean? So I'm going to compute. So again, if Tracy were here, I'd be like, hey, Tracy, what's your payoff? And her payoff right now is about like 244. Excuse me. The reason being, or maybe like 242. Reason being is that this is based off of a 30-year fixed loan with an average, with that interest rate, and then also with regular payments. So if you have more specific details to kind of put in here, you can just hit the gear right here. Remember the gear, you go into a little more detail. So you can go in the gear and then you can enter the data manually so that you can say this is a 15-year loan. They've made extra payments because it is like Tracy does have a 15-year loan. Tracy made extra payments of $400 for the first like year and a half of the loan. So that kind of skewed the number a little bit. But you know what? For the sake of the payoff and the sake of the quote, this is close enough. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to like at least let you know so that you weren't blindsided. But yes, it is off of 30-year and it is regular payments. So sales price, I'm just going to do the 500 again, or I guess 650 because that's what my fingers hit. So broker fee, it does have the regular 5% with the even split. You can hit the gear, you can adjust that at your leisure. When you press done, just make sure you hit this correctly. If it's going to be the same for all of them, then hit this one. But if it's just for that estimate, make sure you just hit this one because then it'll log it forever. Under repairs, you can just put a number like $5,000 for repairs. Okay. Which is great. Some sellers are fine with seeing just repairs, $5,000. But If you have more detail-oriented clients, I suggest you go into the miscellaneous tab and you do it as an addition to the closing costs, because then you can itemize it. You can say roof repair 1,000, septic 2,000, and then it's just more itemized as far as what the repairs are. And that's totally case by case basis, right? There's our taxes, our HOA we know is this. There's the loan balance, the interest rate. It did already push our closing date out by a month. Reissue rate or reissue credit is very simple. It is a discount on your title policy, and you are eligible for that discount on your title policy if you sell the home within 3 years of the purchase, and it has to be 3 years to the day. So it is again going to give me that suggestion about the taxes, or at least it should. Oh, well, it didn't. So we can come in here to the gear, hit that India Atlantic. Copy that. Done. Oh, this is giving me to like adjust those millage rates. Okay, there we go. Now I want to see, that's why I did Cape Canaveral, because it's the one at the top. So I'm just going to hit India Atlantic. And now I'm good. Good to go. So now it's just basing that taxes off of the percentage rather than that recorded tax. So it does still correctly prorate the taxes and everything's groovy. So now we're here. This is our net at close. You know, if Tracy, let's say we're selling her home with Stephanie, and she was like, Stephanie, I told you I have to net 360. I have to net 360, no questions asked. So you can again press the edit button, put that 360 in here that your clients need, hit done, and now it recalculates the sales price mostly. So again, it's that power to say, hey, you know, 655 is pretty realistic rather than 650. You know, you could probably get a higher offer. You could, you know, do buyer pays closing costs, whatever it may be, to get her to that 360. But that's a realistic adjustment. Let's say it was 375, right? Then this would jump up so much that the comps wouldn't support it. And then you could show your clients that. So that's super powerful. Now you do have the same little turn your phone to the side button here. To me, this one doesn't carry as much oomph as on the buyer side. Like, yeah, if you accept an offer 10,000 more, you're going to net about 10,000 more. Like it just, you know, it's like kind of like a no-brainer. However, the stuff up here, these different tabs, to me are more valuable on this side than the buyer side. So if you swipe to the left, you have multiple offers tool. So you can just right here, add new offer, and then list out all of those offers that you might get on these homes. Let's say you get 5 offers, and you, as their real estate advisor that they've hired, think that 2 of them are going to be the best and give your clients exactly what they wanted. You can put all 5 here, but then put a little star next to the 2 that you think are best. And then your client really feels a part of the conversation. You can edit those and then share or print the PDF there. On the other side of the net sheet, yes, what's up, Stephanie?
Are there other points that you can
Yes.
add in those, like closing date, blah, 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 so that these comparisons?
You have
Okay.
all this stuff available. Even you can
Right.
go in here and do closing costs as well. You have escalation clauses, contingencies, notes. I mean, you can
You
even
can
put
put
buyer
that for
exchange.
every single offer.
For every single offer, you can come in here and get into this detail.
I like it. I like it
Yeah.
better than my Excel spreadsheet.
It's really nice. And something that's great is that the multiple offers tool is actually its own calculator. So you don't have to do a whole seller net sheet to get to the multiple offers. So I'll show you that in just a minute. When you go over to the other side, this is what I was telling you about yesterday, Stephanie, and I think I mentioned it to you too, Trenton, the holding cost tool. So this is where the big power is. We were talking about it. You're in that listing appointment, Trenton. They're like, I loved your presentation. Everything was great. I definitely want to work with you 100%. But we really need to repaint the guest bathroom and do some landscaping outside. So we'll call you in about 3 months. Sound good? No, not at all. So what you can do here is, look at what this is. This is only taxes, interest, insurance, HOA. We don't have any principal. We don't have any lawn care, no pool care, no utilities, no water bill. You have so many numbers that you can add here and scare tactic them into listing right now. So you can come right here and you can edit those expenses. So they don't have it like a ton of fields on here, but you can always just kind of add them and say, hey, I had to just add this to the HOA. Like I had to add your principal amount to the HOA to show the number, or I had to average the last 3 utility bills and put it over here under the monthly. And then other, you can just kind of add everything together and put it under other. You know what I mean? So as long as you, to me, increasing that number is the goal here, right? So I also was mentioning you have a different timeline. So this is showing the 1 to 4 month timeline. You can come in here and change it from days to months. And then it's a 3 to 12 month timeline. So it just makes it a little more extended. So that is the holding cost tool. When you're back at the net sheet and you're ready to send that out to your client, you do have templates available. So you still, by the way, can go into the detailed closing costs just like on the buyer side and adjust those. I just at least wanted to mention that. So on the seller side though, you have templates, but you don't have those geo reports. Those geo reports, those home reports are only available on 2 places on the app, either on the buyer tab or in the premium side, which is the marketing side. So I'll show you that in a minute, but those are the 2 places you can find it. But we do still have those nice templates over here. I can, if I want this one to be my branded template, I can always just come here and pick that one with my colors, with my photo, with everything on it that I love to have. And that's your seller net sheet. So do you have any questions here? And you still have all the language customization. You have all the options here. Everything else is the same. Any questions before we move on? Brilliant. Now to the calculator tab. Da, 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 da. So you have over a dozen calculators available to you. They are awesome. There is even some new ones. I never even saw this concession cheat sheet. That's cool. So you have that. You have the buy down calculator, which is huge. An equity review, which is how you're going to get sellers. If you have a client that just wants to see the title fees with Supreme Title, you can just come right here. And all you need to know is the type of financing, home price and down payment, and that's it. And then you can just get the closing costs. You have more down here. This is where if you wanted to bring in your lender, there's a lot of lender calculators on here as well, but one's for you too. Here's that multiple offers calculator I was talking about. So you can just come right here to the calculators tab and go to multiple offers. You don't have to run a whole seller net sheet for that. This handy calc is kind of fun. You fill in any 3 of the fields and it'll calculate the 4th one for you out of those 4. Just a fun little quickie thing. Then you have, you see how many you have here. There's a lot of calculators. If I went through all of them, we would be here for a million years. I can't do that to you and I can't do that to me. So run through these yourselves. If you have questions, you know where to find me. You both have my cell phone number and I'm always here for answering questions. This one is a really powerful tool. I just want to acknowledge them. The iBuyer comparison and the iBuyer multiple offers. The iBuyers are Redfin and the Open Door, Zillow, the ones that are the online representation. So this comparison would show don't use the iBuyer, use me, the realtor. We actually have a class about that coming up soon as well.
EXP just partnered up with Open Door so we can offer these to our clients.
Did you?
Yeah, and get paid. I was just looking at this. I really like you guys even have the personalized personalized videos on here to even put your branding on that.
Hey, you got ahead of me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I did while you're talking, I've been playing on the app and I did sign up for the premium and I uploaded my stuff and that's awesome. I like the way it shows up.
Yeah, so I'm going to run through the premium just to show you the different categories and all the things you have available. So really quick, this is the estimates tab. When you save estimates, this is where it would be saved right here. If you're on your phone, you would just open up the hamburger menu, you know, the 3 lines on top of each other. So you would hit that menu and then the estimates are in there. So over to the premium side, here we are. This is the marketing, okay? So at the beginning of every month, this will pop up. It's called a monthly marketing package. So at the very least, if you have no time to like peruse through the whole premium side of the app and like figure out what you want to post and this and that, you don't, you know, you can't focus on what's relevant in the market right now. You're too busy with clients, whatever it may be. Here they give you 4 suggestions for the month. So at the very least, you have 1 post per week, right? And it's all super relevant to the market. So one-on-one content, like a the seller concession cheat sheet. That is so hard to say. The social media content, like rate buy down versus price reduction. What is a seller concession? So this whole monthly marketing package is focused on seller concession. Not all of them are focused on the same like topic, but sometimes they are. And that's really nice to be able to trickle your information out. You know, you can kind of follow up on it like, hey, did you see my cheat sheet? If you didn't, here's this graph about it. Well, what is a seller concession? Like here, swipe through this infographic. So it's very, very valuable. That's just the monthly marketing package. So
And each month that
you get
changes,
a new one.
different,
Yep. And it changes
different
based
topics.
on the market updates right now. So obviously right now in the month of April, seller concessions are the hot topic right now. Do you agree?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
They're really good
Come
here.
show.
Like this hosting
If
company
we
is
just get an
based out of
offer,
Texas.
we'll concede.
Yeah. And another thing I want to mention is like, if you're working on this and you see something that maybe could function a better way, or there's a piece of information that you would like to see on there, or just something that you want to suggest as like an improvement to the app, please reach out to me and let me know, because I can forward that to the app developers and they actually listen and they actually make the changes. It's wild. Like I'm friends with our account liaison and I'm like, Mike, my clients want this, and this. And he did it. He does it. It's pretty awesome. I actually want to see on the dynamic filters if he added the things that I wanted him to add, because we like went through a whole list and everything. It was great. All right. So the first 2 categories on here are infographics. So you have standard infographics and swipeable infographics. If you see this little, like, it looks like 2 pieces of paper on top of each other, that designates that it's a swipeable, that it's multiple pages. And then the ones without it are just single page. So if I go into see all on the standard infographics, I get to see them all. And at the top of every category, you get to size it for the social media platform that you're putting it on. And not just because you have 2 Instagrams. So you have Instagram post, Instagram story, Facebook post, Facebook story. Love to see it. These standard sizes under infographic. So standard infographic is the other place you find those home reports. So there's one. You have a bunch of, and you can always like search right here for home report and it'll bring all of them up. Oh, okay. Maybe not all of them, because that one's the only one with the name home report. That's annoying. But you could, how about just report? Let's do that. There we go. All right. So I love the different home reports that they have because they're tailored toward different types of clients. So take me as an example. I am a millennial. I have no children, but I have a dog. And I bought my house for the backyard for my dog. Okay. I am one of those. Yes, I am. So would you want to send me this infographic that has a ton of information about schools and it looks like a family on the front and like it's all about kids? Do I want a home report like that? No. Get them kids out my face. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. So, but for me, like what would be tailored toward my interests and my life would be something like this. It literally says no school. So this is more focused on just the conveniences in the neighborhood. So this would be a better one for me. Or what about this one? I mean, I'm super obsessed with my dog. So like, send me this, a pet-friendly home report. These are awesome. I want to know all this stuff. So that's the home reports, but you have other standard infographics. Once you get to the different sizes, so let's say I wanted to just do Facebook post size, I lose the home reports. They're not on any other size besides the standard. But you have so many different things here. So I'm going to go back to the standard really quick, and I just want to show you one of the other infographics to then compare it to the swipeable ones. So I don't want to have to, some of them you have to like plug numbers in. So this one, I'm guessing you do. Yeah. So for here, you have to plug some numbers in. You have to put an address for an example. But for other ones like this one, I don't think you have to put any numbers in. Yeah, you don't. So this one is just like, it's already made. You don't have to worry about plugging anything in. Once you're ready to send it out, you actually have a suggested caption with hashtags. You have a footer report. You can share it directly through the app. So you can just go right here, share to Facebook. You can go right here, schedule on Facebook, and it'll take you to your Meta Business Suite. If you are going to download this to then upload to your Facebook later, just make sure you're downloading the image and not the PDF, because you cannot post PDFs on social media. You can only post images. So with the suggested caption and hashtag, it's like kind of long in the tooth a little bit, but I would take it from the call to action, right? That's my suggestion. And then just like a couple of the hashtags if you want. So back out here in swipeable infographics, we have a lot of the same ones. They overlap a lot, but they're just different for the different platforms. So here's the one that we were just looking at, the Beat the Heat one. So for me, swipeable infographics immediately make my brain go to stories. Like I think stories are what's swipeable, right? Like you click through the stories, you tap, 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 and you go through the different pages. So that's to me where I go with the swipeable infographics. And again, it's the same information. It's just spreading it out onto multiple pages. So I have the graph here on the second page, excuse me. And then the third page, I'm branded on there. Powerful. Love it. So that's the infographics. Now, we all know what photo filters are, right? So that's what these are. And we have a ton of categories for these. So when you close at Supreme Title, we are constantly suggesting or we encourage you to take a closing photo after the closing. So instead of just slapping up the closing photo, why not proud new homeowner? Put a frame around it. Congratulations on becoming a homeowner. Said yes to the address in all these different colors, just so that you can align it with your branding. In escrow, congratulate, like all of these different ones. And you can go into see all, and there's a ton more in each category. You won't have these rep filters. That's for us at the title company. So the new ones will be at the top. Dynamic. So this is the dynamic ones that I was talking about, where I told you I suggested changes to him, and he actually did make those changes. So these equity reviews are brand new. You get to plug in numbers on top of a photo. People don't read these days. It's just the way it is. You have 3 seconds to keep and maintain their attention. And the way you're going to do that is by making your photos dynamic, exactly how they're saying here. So you have just listed luxury real estate, luxury property for sale, open house, all these different open house ones, new listing, house for sale. I love being a realtor in, and then you get to put like a specific neighborhood or like beachside, like Stephanie would want to. And look, they have all of these just in different colors, like just because they care about branding so much. And I love that. Like I love their commitment to the branding. They actually took bits from the geo reports, those home reports, and made them into filters. So you can kind of like do it like a picture of Publix or Wassie's Meat Market as something a little more local. if you want, like you just little ideas like that. You'll walkability from your dream house, like a picture of you and your dog walking or something. And then you have like really dynamic ones, like these market updates, I think are awesome. You get to put like the days on the market, listing to close ratio. So whenever you're selecting a filter over here, if you're on your phone, you can take the photo in the app directly with like the frame already around it. So like you're taking the photo with the frame.
No
But if you
way.
take the photo ahead of time and then you want to put the frame around it later, you would just do here file upload, and you can do the same on your phone too. File upload, and then you can just upload the photo. And
So it's
once you're
kind
here,
of
I
like
can
if
put a
you're
photo in
using
there.
Canva,
What's that?
it's that same concept like Canva.
But it's so much easier than Canva.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me right now? This is so much easier than Canva. You don't have to
No,
make anything. You just
but
have to
you
drop a
upload
photo
it
in
and
there.
then you put it wherever you want it.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
just like, so I wanted to show you this example because the market update block is at the top of the frame.
Mhm.
So when I'm like adjusting the crop, I don't want to put it down here because then that market update is going to cut right there. I want to pull it up a little bit so that that market update isn't really cutting anything off. And I still am like using most of my photos. So there's my crop, and see how it only cut off the sky because that's where I set it to cut. Right. Okay. So then you would go into customize right here, and then you can adjust all these numbers. It's so cool. I love it. Home seller staging tips. How's the market? There's so many here. All right. So that was just one category. Then we have hashtag realtor life. You have open house, you have listing. I love this one. Happiness is homemade. I think it's so warm and fuzzy. You can put a lot of details on on some of these open house ones. I want to see a selfie Trenton with this around it. Master of multiple offers. That's you. And you know what, Stephanie, you are the queen of multiple offers, and you're going to take a selfie with that frame. You know what else I like when I say they have a commitment to branding, I really feel like their commitment is so deep. They allow you to like be yourself with all this content. Like you can be the fun-loving realtor, or you can be the really professional realtor that like has no laughter whatsoever, which works for people. And I love that. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying like you can be who you want to be on this app. You don't have to have this, our title company has the sweetest like that's for us, but you know what I mean? Like you don't have to be kitschy. You can just be a realtor and be professional. And they have all of that too. Past client equity review, you get it. There's a lot going on here. And then seasonal at the bottom is based off of like holidays and, you know, just different things like that. So that would be like teacher appreciation week and stuff. So they'll come out with what'll be next. They had Easter ones.
Mother's
What
Day.
holidays next? Memorial Day. They'll have something for Memorial
Mother's
Day with
Day.
like
Mhm.
American flags on it and stuff. So that was the filters. We have two more categories and then we're done. Just like Trenton was mentioning when he was an overachiever before, personalized videos. And these are awesome. There aren't as many as the other categories because these take a long time to make. They have to animate all of them. They have to, you know, put them all together. None of them are going to be longer than 2 minutes, which is great. They're all really easy to digest. It's not going to overwhelm like the layman. I mean, look at this one's only 30 seconds. I love that. What is a seller concession? That's what it is. Valuable bargaining chip, blah, 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 blah. And then there I am at the end. There's the personal branding.
Can we voice over those?
You could honestly,
Can
yeah,
can
like you
we
could.
download, so we could download, let's say that video, and I could put it into my video editor where I can voice over
Yep,
and
you would
then
just have to
voice
record
over
your voice, have this
and
downloaded, and
then
then just
upload it.
yeah,
Okay, I
take
like
this.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I mean, this like you're paying $10 for the year, and these look like they were like hundreds of dollars from a marketing company. It's like blows my mind. And the last category are shareable calculators. This used to say lead gen calculators, but I think liability wise, they had to change that. So that's what these are, though. These are lead generating calculators. you're able to, let's see this one. How much equity do you have? Love that. You can change the cover. So I actually really like this cover. I think it's gorgeous, but you can change it to this one and it'll show you what it'll look like on your profile. And then you still have all the suggested caption hashtags, but you do have a try it out button. That's important because then you can try out the calculator to see what your clients will be seeing
Oh, nice.
so that you can be familiar with it when they come to ask you questions.
So now that is something we could also share on social media?
Yep, that's exactly what it's for. So you're
Okay.
able to same share button. Like once I'm on the
Mhm.
shareable calculator,
But there's no capture availability.
no, that's exactly what this is doing. It's capturing the lead for you.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so when you try it out, like it's asking, so give us a few details about when you bought your home. This,
Uh-huh.
this. So let me put it in there so I can kind of show you because this is step 1 of 3.
Okay,
So I'm just gonna do it whatever. So estimated current value, that, next, enter home, enter email. Allow me to pull some
okay.
information and I'll send you a
So
detailed.
before they get to this step, are they gonna get information? Because you changed the screen so fast.
Oh, I'm
Did
sorry.
they?
No, here, let me go back. Hold on.
Okay,
Will it let me? There we go. Okay. So the first step is just like this is so the
right, they're
shareable
just gonna
calculator
push
is
that in.
encouraging them to like kind of work their own numbers and have
Right,
the power in their hands. And then when they get confused, they're going to reach out to you. So
but they are going to get a feedback answer from this before they have to
I
give you.
believe they do. I believe they do. But also keep in mind, just the fact that this is coming from your social media, they have a connection with you already somehow.
Right,
Right. So this is
will
this
you
is
go
the
to
first
page 2
step.
again?
Yeah, so this is the first step. That's what they put in.
Right,
And they're putting in how much you think your house is worth today.
uh-huh.
All right. And then you get to be one that puts down the hammer. No, it's not worth 800,000. It's worth 650. You crazy person.
Okay,
Okay.
but basically for them to get the answer, they're gonna have to,
Exactly.
okay.
This is to pique their curiosity.
Mhm.
This is like getting them thinking like, oh, how much is my home worth? What is going on with that? What is my equity looking like?
Yeah,
All right. So these are powerful tools. Again, you can just hit that share button and put it right on your Facebook. And this whole preview right here, is it gonna no, gotta click back into it. All right, there we go. This whole preview, this is showing what it's gonna look like on your Facebook. That's what it'll look like right there.
okay.
All right. So do you guys have any questions about the premium side over here? It's pretty self-explanatory, just kind of top to bottom, being able to pull things from there. So my suggestion, because I know you both are like busier than a one-arm paper hanger, take an hour or two, one day a month. That's all you need. Probably like 2 hours, 2 hours, one day per month. And you can take all the things from here you want to take and schedule it out on your Meta Business Suite. And then you don't have to think about social media for another month. Let that not be the focus of your business. This is here to help you with that specifically. Like schedule everything out. Don't make yourself crazy being like, oh, I forgot to post this week. Oh, I got to stay relevant. Oh, this, oh, that. Use this as your, in a sense, filler content, but it's valuable filler content. And then around that, you post like the videos of yourself that you do, or you post like the pictures of your kids, Trenton, or whatever you want to do. And you have a lot of really valuable content, personal content and business content. And I'm going to stop the recording.